Welcome to the Kingdom of Cambodia. This is the Angkor Wat complex in the northwest central region of Cambodia, also called the Kingdom of Cambodia or the Kingdom of Kampuchea. The landmass of Cambodia is about 200,000 square kilometers. This vast complex is not just one temple. It is a series of temples that encompass an area of about 200 kilometers. But this is the main complex. A little bit about the history of the motto. The motto of the country is really interesting. The motto of the country is Nation, Religion, and King. They've gone through a few evolutions in the flag in the modern period from 1975 to 1979. The flag is very similar to the one they had today, except for the background was red for the Khmer Rouge. Khmer Rouge we'll talk about at a different time period. One of the interesting things about Cambodia is that it was heavily influenced by India and China. Chinese traders came in here, Indian traders came into this area, and it was a perfect way station halfway between China and halfway to India by boat. There's probably the largest river in Southeast Asia is just a few kilometers from here. It is the Tonle Sap, the Great Lake. Angkor Wat means great or monument or religion. But a little bit about some of the great leaders of the Angkor civilization. In 802 AD, Jayavarman II became the emperor. He unified a bunch of princely states who were continually warring against one another. He was inaugurated, not here, but at a smaller Wat nearby. But that begins the actual great Khmer civilization in 802 AD. The next great Khmer emperor was a guy by the name of Yasovarman I. Yasovarman I was the first to actually establish this area, not right here, but this area as a Khmer, as the great Khmer civilization. Jayavarman II, 802 AD, Yasovarman, somewhere around the late 800 AD time period. For reasons that are unknown, although it was probably due to the Javanese invasion sometime between 800 AD and 1000 AD, the main complex was moved north to Kokura. Then it was moved back, probably as the Javanese were pushed back out. The next great emperor who comes in is Jayavarman II. Jayavarman II, Suravarman II. Suravarman II was the great builder. He is responsible for building most of this complex that you see here today, or large parts of the complex. He again solidified his rule by warring against the Champa to the east, basically southern Vietnamese, and the Mon or the Thai, the Siamese as they were called at the time, to the east. Now geographically, north of Cambodia is Laos, to the east of course is Thailand, and to the west is Vietnam. In 1177, a Tonkin Vietnamese fleet sailed south of the Gulf of Tonkin, came around into the Gulf of Thailand, and then made their way up some of the internal river networks to the Tonle Sap River, and then we made it to the Tonle Sap Lake. From the Tonle Sap Lake, there was a great naval battle. It's depicted in the bas reliefs on the south wall here of the Angkor Wat complex. From there, Yasovarman II was able to consolidate his rule, eventually pushing out the Vietnamese, or later known as the Cham or the Champa. There's one other emperor that I did want to mention to you, as he is fairly important in the construction of various monuments in this area, and he is Jayavarman VII. Jayavarman VII reigned for 40 years. He built numerous complexes, finished the barrays, or the canals coming out of here. But what's important about his reign is that he engaged in so much building that he actually bled the empire dry economically. And I'm sure on his death everybody was happy to see him go. What's important about Jayavarman VII's reign is that at the end of his reign, Mahayana Buddhism lost out to Theravada Buddhism, which is a more strict form of Buddhism. Hinduism remained the principal religion really here till about the 9th century AD, and then it moved more and more towards Buddhism, and of course today it is predominantly a Buddhist country. However, when a new king is inaugurated to take the throne here in Cambodia, it is not done just with Buddhist priests, it is done also with Hindu priests. And again, this is one of the few areas outside of South Asia where you have Hindu and Buddhist temples together. Again, class, thank you for your time.
Yeah.